Ever notice how even school reading passages have their own techniques? When you look at something like a science passage, it usually follows a pattern: concept, experiment, conclusion. But if it's an arts or literature passage, it's more like emotion flow, background, expression. That's because every passage has its own structure and rhythm. And music is exactly the same. Take Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata first movement. There's a special technique behind that dreamy sound, the arpeggio. Instead of playing a chord all at once, you spread the notes out, one after another, creating that smooth, flowing texture. For example, let's say we have this pattern, C sharp dash E dash G sharp. I'm going to call this a chord pattern for now. You'll notice it keeps repeating. C sharp to E to G sharp, C sharp to E to G sharp. Over and over again. That's basically what we call an arpeggio. And once you understand how an arpeggio works, you can spot it and use it in almost any piece you play, whether it's classical, pop, or jazz. Arpeggios are one of those techniques that show up everywhere. For example, in Butterfly Waltz, the left hand is completely written in an arpeggio pattern. Let's take a look. It goes something like this. Earlier, we had C sharp, E, G sharp, right? This time, it's using F, C, F, but it's played broken up, not all at once. See? It's not like this, but more like this. So there are actually lots of different ways to play arpeggios. You're basically spreading out a chord, but depending on how you spread, the feeling changes completely. And of course, arpeggio is just one of many techniques in music. There are others like scales, trills, staccatos, octave runs, and so on. All these core techniques were organized and broken down by one person, Czerny. When you practice Czerny, you're not just drilling exercises. You're basically learning the grammar of reading and interpreting music. So, if you want to get proper Czerny lessons, you can take a one-to-one private class through the link below. A professional teacher will guide you step by step. Now, let's talk about something really interesting. Music can actually be explained just like language. Think about a sentence in our language. A normal sentence has parts like a subject, a verb, and an object. Someone does something to something, right? When those parts connect naturally, it makes sense. For example, I, subject, play, verb, the piano, object. That's a complete sentence. Music works the same way. The melody is like the subject. It's the main idea. And the chords act like the background or the context, showing where the melody is going and supporting its direction. So in music, instead of asking, what's this sentence about? We often ask, what's the chord progression here? Because when you understand the chord progression, you can feel the flow of the story, the tension and release, the rise and fall, and the emotional movement within the music itself. For example, take the C chord. You play it like this, and the G chord sounds like this, and the A minor like this. How does that chord progression feel to you? It kind of tells a little story, right? For instance, when you go from G7 to C, it feels like you've been on a little journey and finally come home. So when you look at sheet music, don't just follow the notes one by one. Try to understand what that section is saying. Think of it as reading a musical sentence. That's what it really means to read sheet music. To sum it up, even in language like reading comprehension, there are techniques and structures, and music works the same way. Czerny organized those playing techniques, while chords and tones are the keys to understanding the sentence of music itself. Once you grasp this idea, you'll start hearing piano music as if it's speaking in sentences. And if you want to learn how to read those sentences even better, check out the next video.